pro-life leaders continue to call on President Donald Trump to defund Planned Parenthood of up to $60 million a year. The nation's largest abortion provider receives that money through the Title X family planning program. President Trump has the power to issue new regulations, making Planned Parenthood ineligible to continue receiving these tax dollars so long as they continue to commit and promote abortions. 41 senators and 153 U.S. representatives sent a letter to the Trump administration urging these Title X changes. Our first guest was one of those pro-life leaders. Representative Diane Black of Tennessee joins us now from Capitol Hill. Congressman, thank you for your time.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me with you.
First off, why did you think it was important to sign the letter to HHS Secretary Alex Azar asking for a revision to those Title X rules?
Well, Catherine, over the years, there has been a blurring of the original intent of Title X. And you know that I'm a nurse by background, and so I know this, that when Title X was originally set up, it was set up to help families to family plan. And it's been blurred over the years, and now those dollars are being mixed with those facilities that are doing both family planning and also abortion. And abortion is not family planning, it's family destruction. And so we want there to be a clear, defined line, both physically and financially, between a Title X facility that is to do family planning and one that is doing family destruction in abortion.
Planned Parenthood is obviously pushing back on the Title X changes. As a nurse for over 40 years, I thought it would be helpful to get your responses to some of their talking points. How does that sound?
Certainly, I'm glad to do that.
Great. So here's one. Planned Parenthood says defunding them of Title X money would mean leaving 41% of Title X patients who, quote, rely on Planned Parenthood health centers without access to life-saving services. Is that true, Congressman? Will there be Americans without access to health care?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, we looked at this and made sure that we did research on this a number of years ago when one of my bills to defund Planned Parenthood was filed, and that was that we looked at to say what kind of services would still be available. And as a matter of fact, there are more Title X, truly Title X clinics that are available than there are Planned Parenthood clinics. And we looked at this all the way across the nation. As a matter of fact, it's 13 to 1. So for every Planned Parenthood facility, there are 13 other facilities that are either federally qualified, health centers, public health departments, or other kinds of clinics that are available, private clinics that are available to people to get the kind of services that are in Title X.
Thank you for that clarity. Here's another talking point from Planned Parenthood. They claim there will be increases in unsafe abortion, unintended pregnancies, women dying from pregnancy-related complications, and infant and child deaths. How do you respond to that claim?
Well, again, that is a falsehood, and we know that's a falsehood. That there will, first of all, we will have more people actually planning, because that's where people need to go, is to make sure that they're getting good information about how they can prevent a pregnancy until they're ready, to help a family truly plan. But with that, I hope that we'll have more information about just what kind of services are available, and we should with these other clinics that 13 to 1. And then if Planned Parenthood still exists, and they can exist with the private money, then if someone chooses that, which of course is not something that I, as someone who loves life, would certainly be recommending, but we will have more good education that's being given in these other clinics that don't have abortion services and don't push that service.
Congressman, defunding Planned Parenthood of Title X funds means cutting them off from about $60 million a year, but the abortion giant receives $500 million a year in federal funding. So what are the next steps to completely defund Planned Parenthood from tax dollars?
Well, we need to continue to work here in Congress to make that happen, which is one of the reasons why we wrote this letter to Secretary Azar, is that we would be able to work with Health and Human Services, where the money comes through them, to totally take dollars away from abortions. Look, this taxpayer dollars, and we know that taxpayers don't want to use their dollars for abortion. This money was set up in Title X originally to help families to plan, and that means to prevent pregnancy. So once again, we don't want to use dollars to destroy life.
Representative Diane Black of Tennessee, thank you again for your insight and for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Joining us now in studio is Mallory Quigley, Vice President of Communications for the Susan B. Anthony List, and Greg Schleppenbach, Associate Director of Pro-Life Activities for the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. Thanks for you both for being here.
Good to be here.
Mallory, first off, what's your reaction to what Representative Diane Black was saying, and what kind of perspective does she bring as a nurse to this conversation?
Well, she knows very well, having worked in the healthcare field, what and where women are best served, and that's certainly not at Planned Parenthood. They're the nation's largest abortion business, and they do not offer comprehensive primary and preventative care. So I think what she mentioned about the community health centers, that includes rural health centers and of course private practice. There are a myriad of options out there for women, and the Title X, any new regulations wouldn't be cutting a single penny from what's currently going out from the federal government for family planning and such. So it wouldn't cut any money whatsoever. It would just redirect that to places where women are best served.
She really was kind of debunking those talking points Planned Parenthood is putting out there. Greg, what do the U.S. bishops make of these calls to defund Planned Parenthood of this Title X family planning money?
Yeah, well, we've been long supporters from going back into the 80s or even before of making sure that abortion is separate from family planning, that this is a pre-pregnancy program of family planning. And so certainly we would strongly support policies that make sure that no abortionist, no abortion chain, whether it's Planned Parenthood or anybody else, can participate in this program without at least having separate, physical and financial facilities in order to participate. So we've always supported strongly implementation of this program that makes sure that abortionists cannot participate, and abortion is not a part of it.
Right, and should not be receiving our tax dollars. Mallory, for the past few weeks now, we've been encouraging our viewers to contact their congressman and, put the pressure on the administration to revise these rules so that Planned Parenthood is defunded. Have you heard, has that been helpful? How optimistic are you the administration will make those changes?
We're feeling very emboldened right now that the administration is listening to the pro-life grassroots and has been taking into consideration all the desires of pro-life Americans for this to happen. I mean, there was such momentum for this to happen in Congress to defund Planned Parenthood of Medicaid through the reconciliation bill, and of course when that failed, we looked to the administration to take up any new policy that they could. So I think that we're going to get news very soon from the administration that there'll be a change, and this would be following through on the president's commitment to defund Planned Parenthood so long as they continue to do abortions.
Absolutely. And Greg, finally, this whole discussion is about cutting funds to the Title X family planning program. Can you just share with us, what is the Catholic approach when it comes to family planning?
Sure. Well, while we want to see abortion kept separate from the Title X family planning program, we have grave concerns about it, period, because the Church's teaching on contraception and the meaning of human sexuality sees contraception as something that's destructive of a very beautiful gift that God has given man and woman, and that's this ability to give fully oneself to one's spouse in the most intimate act of love that a human being can express. And so the Church's teaching is actually very beautiful in this, and with regard to contraception, that frustrates that twofold meaning of this very sacred and beautiful act between husband and wife, which is to be both unitive in uniting husband and wife in this intimate act of love into one flesh, and also that it be open to life. And contraception frustrates that second, at least that second fundamental part of the marital act. So the Church does teach that there is to be responsible parenting and family planning in a natural way. And God, again, in His beautiful design, has given us our human bodies a way to do that, in a way to plan one's family, to either postpone pregnancy if there are serious reasons to do so, or to achieve pregnancy by understanding the signs of fertility. And this can be done then without putting chemicals into a woman's body, which should be another reason why individuals would be attracted to this beautiful natural teaching of God about this divine gift of human sexuality.
Absolutely. God is the best planner, and we should just follow His lead on that. So Greg Schleppenbach and Mallory Quigley, thank you both for your clarity on this issue.